All right, this match review comes to us from Lumont, which has about 1,500 hours in the game, which is way past that kind of 1,000-hour number that you're looking for in terms of adeptness for the game. Yeah, they're past that adept point in the game. They should know most fundamentals in the game. They're playing Xenomorph, which is my main character. I am number 8 in the world and number of tail attacks as of this recording. So, you know, very, very good person to ask about Xenomorph advice. You're on Wrecker's Yard, which is it's definitely a more killer-sided map, but the problem with the Wrecker's Yard is it's small and there's not an aggressive main building, which is in your favor as killer, but the kind of the trade-off is that all the tiles are congested, which makes chaining tiles very easy for the survivors, whereas usually that's a skill that survivors have to be good at, but it's a little bit more given on Wreckers, so that's kind of like the trade-off. So let's go ahead and look at your add-ons and your build.
Good pressure.
In the future, if you could not like you can hang out with your friend. Obviously, I'm not telling you what to do. If you hang out with your friends while playing the game, that's fine. But if you could somehow omit the Discord call from the audio of the match reviews, that would be very, very much appreciated. Let's go and see. Yeah, whistling. So one of your add-ons is good and one of your add-ons is not great. So Kane's helmet is a very, very good add-on. It is your archetypical, hey, you use your M2, you get mangled add-on that a ton of killers have. So obviously that is a slowdown as an add-on, which is obviously pretty good. Probably the third best add-on. Obviously the two best add-ons are Lambert Star Map, which decreases the distance of the turrets by 2, and also the emergency helmet, which decreases the stagger. Yeah, Parker's headband is it was an add-on I was excited to use. It looked cool in the PTB, but it just doesn't do enough. Like it needs either one or two buffs. It needs the haste to last longer, or it needs the haste to be faster. Because currently the number is too low on both ends. The number's just too low on both ends. It just doesn't have as good of impact as, say, like a similar add-on like Sadako's Bloody Fingernails, which helps her, you know, boost her speed when she comes out of a television. So it's just not, the numbers on it are just not great, especially for a green. Like if this was a yellow add-on, I'd be like, yeah, whatever, it's fine because it's cheap, but it's a green add-on, so it's pretty expensive, especially when you could be running emergency helmet in that slot over it, or Lambert Star Map. Like it's just kind of like not a good pick. In terms of your build is mostly good. I like the pain res, best slowdown in the game. No Way Out, very, very good perk for Xenomorph, especially for playing the end game, because if you shut hatch, you don't even have to like track the survivors while you hang out in the tunnels. You just wait for somebody to touch the door, and then you pop out of the tunnels, you know, nearby whatever door was touched. Forest Hezi is an interesting choice. Xenomorph is not really too big of a slugging killer, and Forest Hezi is kind of a perk that kind of is best used on slugging and insta-down killers, but Xenomorph is not really one of those, so I'm not too sure about this as a pick. Nurses, I see what you're going for, because you have the mangled add-on, so it's going to be taking a lot of time to heal. So you're running, you know, nurses, so you can like catch them healing and like pop scare them, right? The problem is with Xenomorph, specifically with the turrets. The turrets have 41 meters of motion sensor on you. So essentially the survivors, if they're by a turret, they get a false tear radius, even if you're trying to sneak up on them in crawler mode. So sneaking up, the whole run nurses and sneak up on them thing is not as viable on basically any sort of stealth. Anything is a little bit less viable on Xenomorph because of the motion sensor on the turrets being so good. So just keep that in mind. So if you're looking for perks to swap out these two, put on like maybe another slowdown in one of these two slots, or an info perk, something like Nowhere to Hide, Barbecue, something like that. So yeah.
He went. And so one thing I love using on demo is Discordance. I love using
Discordance is a little underrated. Discordance is good on Xenomorph too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That'd be another good info.
I haven't been running Discordance. It is really good though. Yeah, just because most of the time I play, I feel like
always. The moment you see a turret as Xenomorph, always take it out. Always take it out, because the thing that makes you super strong and super powerful is your tail, your M2. It is your super oppressive anti-chase tool. So being knocked out of your power is not good. So the moment you see a turret, take it out. There's no reason to bypass them.
Survivors.
Yeah, because now you're outside your power. You should have done this earlier.
There was no way he had enough time to do that.
Good, good.
And my controller's
You're doing something really smart here, which is what I don't see a lot of Xenomorphs do, is if you didn't know, your default power recharge when you get knocked out of your power is 40 whole seconds, which is a really long time. Really, really long time. But if you jump in the tunnels and start moving, while you're moving in the tunnels, your regeneration's super quick. So you can get your power back in like 5 or 6 seconds as opposed to 40. So you should be doing this if you play Xenomorph. And you don't even have to do what you're doing where you like run away. Like you could just jump into the turret, wiggle back and forth, and then pop right back out. Like you don't have to actually be moving through the tunnels. You can just, you know, AD back and forth, and it counts as movement. So you should do that. Let's say you hear somebody on that. You're not taking out turrets. You gotta take out your turrets. You gotta clean up your turrets.
What are you doing? Just standing there looking at your phone?
Oh, good attempt. Good attempt. It was probably kind of weird because he faked the window.
Just curious. La, la, la.
There you go. Good. Do that more. Take out the turrets the moment you see them.
Oh my god.
When you click drag, keep in mind that your click drag, if at any point it hits collision, it's going to stop your hitbox. So be careful about clocking into walls while you're trying to like drag your tail across the space. Be careful about that.
Oh.
You weren't gonna get that. You shouldn't have went for that.
One of those annoying games.
You've also spent a lot of time in this chase.
It's gonna be one of those annoying games.
Oh, do this thing.
I had to M1 on here.
It's almost weird to see somebody M1 because I M2 only as this character. I'm just like, you can't do that. I'm like, yes, you can. You can totally do that. Yeah, he faked the window. You don't seem to be used to when people want to fake. Yeah, you don't want to go for shots like this. You don't want to go for shots like this. So, unlike Nemesis's tentacle whip, your M2, when you click drag it, it catches collision. Well, the tail in general catches collision. Where Nemesis doesn't. So where Nemesis can kind of click drag and just kind of like not care because his hitbox is never going to deactivate if it hits a wall or something, yours does. So in this situation where you are at a diagonal at like a window or something like that, you got to think that like, well, DBD collision is particularly sloppy. It sucks that it's that way, but it's just kind of like DBD's collision is particularly, it's just bad. So you got to account for the fact that you can see my mouse cursor on screen. Like the window collision is like, should be, you know, just this little square here. But in reality, the collision of the window is actually like a little bit out here where my mouse is and a little bit down. So you're going to hit that if you're going at a diagonal. So if you're going to be going for a threaded shot like this, you got to like be careful because if you're going at a diagonal, you're most likely going to get caught by the collision, unfortunately.
How's it going through but not hitting him?
It didn't go through.
Get my message from you.
I would never double vault a null wall for any reason. There, you could have sent your tail
I'm
early.
gonna have to leave this, dude.
Yeah, good. That's good because
That's the only way I'm getting
you were in chase for a really long time, so that is good. You have the injury.
God, the oppressor makes this game so easy. Just fly around everywhere.
Go for somebody who's potentially easier chase or out of position. You gotta take out your turrets. Spoilers. I think you know what one of your main takeaways is going to be. You are not taking out your turrets, and it's making you an M1 killer. Stop ignoring your turrets.
Okay, I'm just gonna hold one-handed.
It's like not picking up your blood as Oni. You're just like fundamentally not doing something about the character or character's kit. Like you're just not doing something you should be doing as the character. Is somebody crying? Who's crying?
I'm smart. I'm not dumb.
What is happening?
You're dumb.
There you go. Good call out on the fake. Good job. Good job. Good call out on the fake.
Made the honor roll.
Now
Okay.
make sure you get your pain res value here.
didn't try for it, but I still did it somehow.
Remember, it's 6.5
I got it. I think my average
grunts
was exactly
until you
80,
drop somebody.
actually.
I think I went and wasted too much time on that.
Xenomorph's stun animation looks quick. It's not quick. It's like Clown, you know? Like Clown's pickup animation looks quick, but it's not. It's just that, like, the certain parts of it are sped up or certain parts are slower compared to other characters. That's all.
You think
That's the same.
Winky? What do you call a blind dinosaur?
Do you think he saw us?
Do you think he saw us?
Uh-huh. What do you call a blind dinosaur's dog?
Blind dinosaur's dog.
You think he saw us, Rex? Mm-hmm.
Do you think he saw us, Rex?
Mm-hmm. Knew that. Good job contesting book here. You could have hit that. You just had to be a little bit more patient.
Really? That's the only part. The only part you remember. I don't remember anything else. Just that. Do you think he saw us?
Saw it too. Man, this Gabriel.
Hey, what did the Gabriel do?
It's kind of.
Why are you being mean to John Made for this?
Oh, this dude's been annoying me this entire game.
What did John Made for this do to you?
I'm in my bunker.
What did John Made for this do to you? You gotta take out your turrets. You gotta take out your turrets. You do realize that you are playing a potentially top 10 M2 killer in this game, and you've spent almost this entire game out of your power. This is like Oni shit, right? Like Oni stuff, right? This is like when people want to play 115 Oni. It's like, no, the thing that makes you top 10 in the game is your blood fury, your demon dashing and slamming survivors, slugging them, insta downing them. That's what makes you good. Xenomorph, your tunnel system is really good info and really great and helps you get like consistent pressure the entire match. But what makes you really, really good is your M2, your tail. So like the fact that you've spent almost the entirety of your match outside of it just because you're not cleaning up turrets means you're essentially playing a 115 killer with good movement speed. Or good map pressure. You know who that is? That's called Freddy, and he's bottom 5 in the game. So don't do that. Do not do that. Just play Freddy instead.
Well, like, I got one hook and there's only one gen left.
Do you remember?
Like this homie with
dinosaur?
the dinosaur jokes in the background.
See, you weren't listening. Do you think he saw us?
Oh my gosh.
They call blind dinosaur's dog.
Well, you've already made this joke.
Do you think he saw us, Rex?
Well, we get it. We get it, brother.
What do you call a gay dinosaur?
I don't like where this joke is going.
It is what it is.
I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is.
I don't like where that joke is going.
This game. Like, this game was an instant loss.
All the things are finishing.
You need to drift when you're going for your M2s. You kind of just like send your M2 and you kind of like hope it hits. But if you move your body side to side while you're click dragging, it covers more space. You kind of just like just, you know, send your tail and kind of just like hope it hits. But if you're moving with, you know, if you're doing WASD, you know, if you're A or D'ing while you're trying to do this, it's going to spread your hitbox wider and you have more potential to hit. That you should have hit. And there's been plenty of times in this.
They went and made his miss attack so.
Did we just start? Yes, we did, Prometheus. Yours hasn't happened yet. Good to see you, though, friend. Yours is next, though. Nice, good job.
Rena, come to me. I need you to be on my guns.
Doing pretty alright.
Where are you at? Where are you?
Don't think I can complain too much. A lot of spank casting.
Yeah.
I like the idea
Be
there.
my gunner.
If you were a little bit more confident that M2, you could probably smack her there while she's crossing in front of the pallet. Oh, that's unfortunate.
She literally ran right into it. What?
You caught the collision of the. I can tell you exactly why that missed. You caught the collision of the pallet.
Right
You caught the collision of the pallet. Watch what happens when you go to throw this. Your hitbox as Xenomorph, learning moment. As Xenomorph, your tail attack becomes active the moment you throw it. So from the moment you send that M2, it acquires a hitbox. So you can see it on screen right now. Your tail is not going to hit her. You can see the yellow right here. The yellow's not hitting her. It's hitting the pallet. It's hitting right here. And because your hitbox is immediately active, it's going to get canceled because you didn't aim it at her. You aimed it at, you're trying to click drag from the wall over to her body, which if you didn't hit the wall, yeah, like that would hit her. But like, because you throw it at the wall initially and the hitbox is immediately active, it's going to get hit collision instead. So that's why that misses. So many people swear this tail is more broken and bugged than it is because they just don't understand how it works, which is fine, but just don't say it. Don't make the claim that the tail is bugged when it's not as bugged as you think it is. There are things that are bugged about it, which hopefully they'll fix, but that is not one of them.
Fucking hate games like this.
At this point, you just need to like take it down and just guard the hook and take your
Come here. This is why the Oppressor Mark 1 is
yeah, the Oppressor Mark 1's terrible.
overshot at all the time.
Yeah, I don't even know
It's
what
only
we're talking about. I
funny.
agree, though.
It's only fun because it's stupid.
That was a good attempt. She just body blocked.
Get out. Just get the fuck out.
Don't get in the car, get in the gun.
Yeah, don't get in the car.
Climb it.
Alright.
Probably because you're not.
Let's see.
I don't think you can join the mission.
Yeah, it wasn't really their builds that did this. It was... Okay, so we're just going to dive right into this. So your main takeaways, your main one and your number one, which you probably see coming, is that you as Xenomorph, you need to take out your turrets as quick as possible. The primary and main reason you lost this game is because you played almost the entire game outside your power. Your power, your M2 Xenomorph is so oppressive in chase. You can 2-tap people so quick once you get good at this character. This character is so good at having quick chases. So good. And that's why they're probably 9th or 10th, but they're probably top 10. It's still a little bit too soon to tell, but I think they're probably 9 or 10 in top 10. They're very, very good. They're a strong A tier killer. But that's only when they have access to their M2. But because you weren't destroying turrets as soon as possible the moment you saw them, you were spending most of the game outside of your power. And when you're playing without your M2, which is your most devastating thing about your kit that ends chases quickly, you're essentially playing 115 lizard hands, you know, which is not good. Like I said, middle of the match. If you want a character that is M1 only but has good map pressure, that's Freddy. And Freddy's still bottom 5 in the game. He's still not a very good character. So yeah, that if you don't want to destroy turrets, just play Freddy instead. But if you want to keep playing Xenomorph, getting better at Xenomorph, you got to stay in your power as much as possible. You have to stay in your power as much as possible, which means you have to take care of turrets as much as possible. You can't be lazy about taking out the turrets. You have to do that. And that is the number one reason you lost this. The number one reason you lost this. The number two thing that you can do better is that you need to understand that unlike Nemesis, Xenomorph's M2 does catch on collision, and the collision in this game is pretty awful, which you found out multiple times during this match. So when you're trying to, like, you know, thread a shot or a click drag, you gotta be mindful. You gotta be mindful of the collision on the map. You can't just kind of like swing it willy-nilly like you can Nemesis. That's one of the ways Nemesis actually has a one-up on Xenomorph, is that, you know, Nemesis can just drag across an entire wall and it never stops the hitbox. But if you hit collision, it stops your hitbox. So you have to mind collision as the M2. Yeah, your third thing, why you're M2ing as Xenomorph and you want to click drag to spread your hitbox, I noticed what you're doing is you're kind of trying to like mostly do it with your mouse and just kind of just like swing your mouse around. Use AD, you're on controller. So use your movement of your body. So like your left analog stick, move your body horizontally while dragging your hitbox across, instead of trying to use what would be probably your right analog stick, right, to like move your camera around. Do it when you're doing a horizontal swipe, move your body with it. Don't try to move your camera with it. Move your body with it, and you'll cover more space and a lot more of your click drags will hit. I promise. But yeah, those are the three things I would do in order to, you know, those are the main reasons you lost this match, and I guarantee if you improve on those, you will have a much better time. So, yeah.